Hi, my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan, and today we're continuing our video series designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. You know, we get a lot of questions from our viewing audience and suggested topics to discuss, and I think I'll cover one of those today. The question more specifically is an unfit father entitled to custody? That's a very, very interesting question because unfit typically means unfit for custody. So why would someone who's unfit for custody be awarded custody? So I think really what's going on in this question and what the viewer meant to say was unfit as defined by the other parent. In other words, can somebody achieve custody even though I believe that they're unfit for reasons A, B, C, and D? The answer to that question is yes. You have to understand one thing. Unfit as defined by the court may not be the same as unfit as defined by you. So you have to realize, what do you mean when you say unfit? Do you mean that at the 6 p.m. return time for the kid, a mom or dad routinely doesn't drop off the kid till 6:10 or 6:15? Is that what you mean by unfit? That they don't comply with the rules? The court's not going to see it that way. The court might see chronic tardiness as a problem, but it won't likely go to fitness to have custody of a child. That's more of a scheduling thing and more of a time management issue than an item of unfitness. And time management skills don't rank among the 12 custody factors. If by unfit you mean that the person's a chronic drug addict and an alcoholic, they can't hold a job, they don't have a place to live, that kind of unfitness will surely be taken into consideration by the court, and the court will not likely find a person who has that level of unfitness to be a suitable custodial parent. Got to understand one thing though. Just because a person might not be suitable to have custody doesn't mean that they're not suitable to have parenting time with your child. So they don't necessarily go hand in hand. Custody is something else, where the child is primarily going to reside and who's going to have responsibility for the major decisions about that kid. That's one thing. That may run with the custody determination, but it doesn't mean the other parent who might be less established, less able, less responsible, it doesn't mean that they can't have parenting time. And in most cases, that parenting time is going to be completely unsupervised unless the court orders that supervised visitation is required. So when you're looking at this whole scenario and you're trying to determine what your expectations should be, and you're figuring, well, I'll get custody and I'll have the child protected. Why? Because he's not fit. Understand, number one, that the fitness isn't determined by the other parent, it's determined by the court. And the court views unfitness in a way very different than the other parent might view it. That's number one. Number two, the lack of fitness as you define it doesn't mean that they won't have time with your child. Doesn't mean that they won't have weekends and parenting time, the time during the week and holidays and all that. So you've got to, as you manage your own expectations about what this picture is going to look like, you do need to keep that in mind. Now, if you have any further questions about that, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.